This is Death Stranding. We're here on PC. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is very interesting because it's technically another PlayStation title releasing on a Microsoft Xbox platform. But I guess if you think about it, anything that releases, on Windows and whatnot is all part of a Microsoft platform. But it's just kind of an interesting state of release for this particular title, seeing it actually become something that is available through Game Pass PC, which is, again, very, very intriguing. So I've played Death Stranding all the way through when it released on the PlayStation, and yeah, I'm not going to sit here and play through it again because it was just honestly one of the worst experiences I've ever had in video games. Now, you could be like, yeah, it's quite stunning, it's a remarkable sort of technical type thing, but wow, is this game just a meandering, boring wasteland? And I know that's probably not the thought you were kind of expecting or really anticipating for this sort of thing, but yeah, I do want to be very clear that this was, I think it was something like 32 plus hours of absolute just hell and distraught times. It was not a good experience. I definitely did not like this game. I did not enjoy it. I did not have fun with it. It is a parcel simulator. It would have been more fun and rewarding to literally go and get a job at UPS or FedEx or something over a weekend, because the time, or a week time-wise would have been more fulfilling for me personally to have gone and done that instead of playing this game. And she is gorgeous. I just want to put that out there. But anyways, we're not going to spoil anything story-wise. I also don't want to sit here and watch 15 hours of cutscenes. A Kojima game developed by Kojima, inspired by Kojima, written by Kojima. Seriously, it's like hours. I think there was something like 3 hours of cutscenes at the end of the game. And it was just like, oh, here we go. Written by Kojima. He just slaps his name like everywhere he can constantly. Like, if you forget about him, it's just like, what are you doing, right? So like I was saying, it's literally just a game where you walk around with packages, but it's like a tedious pain in the ass. It really genuinely is. And it does have beautiful music, but I'm also going to go to my system settings, and I'm going to turn that music off. Actually, you know what? I can edit things out if I need to, audio-wise. This is a good time to go over the graphics. So we've got a lot of different graphic options, and I also want to note quickly that you can get things like ultra-wide mode, photo mode, high frame rates, crossover content from some very well-known franchises, things like that. It is like a proper full version. So we've got the full screen, we've got the aspect ratio options, the different resolution choices, your VSync, whether you want to use it. And then you got different frame rate options, and you can like bop up to 30, you can go like all the way up to like, I think it was like 240 or something like that. And it's like, I don't know why you'd be pushing up that crazy high, but I mean, you do you. Actually, the default setting for this one was like 1080p, 200 FPS or something. And I'm like, I wish I had a monitor that was that crazy going on here, but no, I do not. Then there's lots of graphical options, your available memory, your memory for streaming. Like, there's lots of different settings and stuff that you can choose in this game to really adjust things. You got your shadows and reflections, ambient occlusion, screen space, and then you got your DLSS, you got your fidelity FX if you want to go that way, anti-aliasing options, your depth of field, your sharpness. We're not going too in-depth here technically like I normally would for like PC and stuff like that, because this game has been out for a while, but just quickly, you get quality, you get performance, you get ultra performance, you can have it off. I think just going with performance, usually NVIDIA DLSS is something you can definitely trust to make sure that you're getting, like performance with your gameplay and whatnot. But yeah, typically, we would sit there and we would really focus on, the graphics, the visual experience and everything like that. But it's been out for so long that it's kind of like, I'm thinking most people kind of, if they care about that aspect, there's more than enough options to take a look at different, like, visual settings that you can choose and deal with. Okay. I guess I'll just throw this all on my back here, because we've got to bring this stuff in. Yeah, so the music is a lot of the ambience in this one, too. It's just kind of listening to the sadness as you walk along. and the bazillion of cutscenes. So obviously this one is very much character driven. We've got Reedus in here. Léa Seydoux is a big character in this one. You've got Guillermo del Toro, the director, is in it for a lot. Oh, well, for a bit, for some reason. And, you know, there's other character performances. Like I said, there's bazillions of cutscenes, so I mean, it goes on and on. And then the big star is obviously the baby that you hold and cradle, because it gives you this connection to the other world. And yeah, that's kind of a big thing on this one, is listening to the baby and cradling it, and then there's whale things that come out of the ground. But this is all it is. Like, seriously, like, you stack packages on your body, and then you get new packages to stack. I would say that it probably is a lot easier than when I played it, because there's like this interconnected world stuff going on, where you can see the structures and the creations that others have put together, and you can use those to your advantage. Whereas when I was reviewing this ahead of launch, we didn't get any structuring or anything like that till way later, when everybody else started getting the game. And I gotta tell you, it was pretty agonizing. And I would still say a lot of this game is just an agonizing, long distance trip. You do get the occasional vehicle to use, you do get the occasional, you know, other things that can give you a hand along the way. You're getting rated based on your delivery skills, so, you know, the shape of your packaging does matter. Not that kind of packaging, guys. And you're essentially, you're doing an age-old idea of connectivity with humanity by bridging the gap of America back together using packages delivery. So, yeah, it's a lot of emotion, it's a lot of crying, it's a lot of, like, dealing with, like, death and, you know, the things from beyond, and trying to, like, be part of a society that's trying to get things kind of back to normal and whatnot, and it's just kind of like, ugh. Oh, and I forgot to mention, in case it's not obvious in the video descriptions and whatnot, I am using an RTX 2080 Ti with an i9 9900K. I guess that'd be important as well. Complete order. Oh man, honestly, this game is just like the worst experience. There's so many other games you could play and so many other things you could spend your time on. Oh, I got an Xbox achievement. Hilarious. Yeah, there we go. Big delivery. But there are lots of side missions if you like meandering around in a wasteland forever. This is your game. You could probably spend 32 plus hours, you know, kind of wandering around. Like, I spent 32 hours of my time playing this, and I was rushing through it the best I could. So there's all this other stuff, you know, that you could do. There's side missions, side adventures. There's, like, little bits of combat here or there, but most of the game is kind of just, like, walking about and stuff. Yeah, and then there's, like, the US government, or what's left of it, because there's, you know, the Bridges Protocol and blah, blah, blah. We're just going to skip this, because, you know, it's not really necessary for me showcasing things. And now we jump ahead to a scene where we are trying to desperately get... I think we're trying to desperately dispose of a body as fast as possible, because there's some issues going on here. Might be this cutscene, or the cutscene before, or something like that.
The world was different when I was a kid.
Yeah, we're trying to get rid of the body.
America is a country. Anybody could go anywhere they damn well pleased.
Oh, those were the good old days.
Like yourself. We had highways, airplanes. Hell, you could even visit other countries.
Those were the days. Days gone. So I don't really know what to say. Like, I really did expect my entire review kind of thing just to be like, you know, again, honestly, going over the fact, like, the story's nonsensical, it meanders, it's bloated, it goes on and on and on. It's straightforward in what it's trying to tell you that it's trying to be, and there's maybe some beauty in the connectivity that it tries to push, I guess, if that's a bit of a stretch personally here. But, like, you know, it just goes on and on and on, and then, like I said, there's like 3 hours of, like, credit stuff baked into the game, and just this long-ass ending story where it's like, you know what's going to happen, you know what's happening the whole time. It's like, it's very straightforward, but it's just like really stretches on. It's like there's long stretches where if you watch the cutscenes, you're actually not even feeling like you're playing the game, if that makes sense.
How much further to the incinerator? This guy's about to pop.
Yeah, we're not gonna make it.
We're gonna have to cut to the BTs.
Uh-oh. That's gonna be dangerous. Because you gotta dispose of the bodies because of the connection to the gooey black stuff from beyond. And then there's this whole, like, soldier bit and, like, some kind of other realm thing, and it connects to, like, the baby stuff. And there was a lot of sinking back Monster energy drinks and stuff to stay hydrated. That was always a neat experience. I will say, again, from a technical standpoint, the character models, you know, very well done. The visual scale of the world is gorgeous, but the world doesn't really have anything in it. It's just mountainous terrain. Very, very similar mountainous terrain. You do get to experience a slight biome variation as you progress in the game. There are some, like, snowy type peak areas you might visit, and lots of deep emotional context. Yeah, as things going off the hook. That's how you see all the dead stuff and everything like that. That's what you think, man. But yeah, it's just about a place that's, like, all falling apart. And you're a courier. A postman. USPS or whatever, right? That's the American Postal Service. That's what you do. And I'd say, you know, the performances are good. And, you know, it's so boring. Like, I don't even know if I'm really getting that along. I thought I'd be complaining even more as I go through to do this video, but I'm just kind of, like, taking it and just being like, oh man, I hate this so much. You just walk along. You just adventure. You hope for the best. And that's literally it. You're dealing with waiting of packages. A lot of the time you're stumbling, you're falling, packages are going everywhere. It is a pain in the ass to get stuff anywhere, to do anything. It's tiring. It does lean on some, like, horror-esque tropes, but most of it is just kind of Norman Reedus cradling and carrying a baby while it whines, and you whine, and you cry, and it cries, and everybody cries, and you walk. You see footsteps and dead things and connectivities to the other side. I really thought it would be more profound, to be honest. It's just kind of a very almost predictable type of adventure that you witness as the story goes along. I really, really thought there'd be something more to it. It is nice to be playing it with an Xbox controller, though. I think that's kind of neat. I have, like, the PS5 copy, too, but I never jumped in to play it. Who knows, maybe that's something to dive into for another crazy day. But yeah, this one, I do not recommend it. I do not recommend playing it. I'm one of the lowest scoring people for it, critically wise, on the other site. You know, some people will be like, oh, it's just because it's not the same as other games where you shoot things, blah, blah, blah. I disagree. I actually really like adventures and stories where there's a lot more of an emotional focus, where there's more context to it, where there's something deeper. I just don't think this game has that or delivers on it. And for me, that's a big issue, and it's just like a waste of time, a waste of a very long stretch of, like, tens of hours. That guy's so screwed. The bad stuff's gonna come for you, man. Oh yeah, and the rain, it ages you too, which is depressing. Can we skip this? Yeah, we can. Okay, good. We get back to wandering around in the open wasteland. That's my life out here. Wasteland walker. Could be another one of those weird scenes where he's all nude on, like, a beach or something. There's so many weird scenes in this game. Like, it's just, like, honestly some of the weirdest stuff I've ever seen. And I usually am, like, so down for weird games. Like, don't take this as a thing where it's like, oh, you know, you just don't get these kinds of games. No, I live for these weird types of experiences, but this is just, like, it's honestly so weird to me. This whole thing. Yeah, let's skip the weird baby thing. Yeah, now we're in the water. Oh yeah, and then you have to repair yourself to the thingy and stuff like that. And then he gives you, like, a thumbs up. Man, this game's stupid. It's just so stupid. And there's Mad Mikkelsen or whatever. He's doing his thing. Hours of cutscenes. Loading. Oh, now I gotta deal with the loading sequence. Did I not watch the cutscenes enough? The blood and stamina gauges. So yeah, cutscene after establishing thing. You might find the beginning of this game neat, but once you start stretching on, you're just walking through the main wasteland for hours upon hours upon hours. Like, you might think it's a simple trip to get this package to where it needs to go. But you will sorely be mistaken in that regard. Because you have to take what could be a simple 5-minute journey, but it'll definitely stretch on for hours. Your bike will break down, your equipment will break down, the stuff you're carrying will break down. Your mood, your spirit, your soul will break down as you continue to hear the baby cry. And Norman Reedus be like, I have to do this, man, for America. Stuff like that. Well, actually, he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't care about their America and blah, blah, blah and everything. And yeah, I don't know. Just a dude trying to enjoy the magic of this experience. And then we get into another cutscene. And now we're on episode 1. So I probably skipped, like, I don't know, an hour. Probably cutscenes at the beginning or something like that. Now I'm in jail. Something about the US government wanting me to work for them. I say yes. And I think now I get to go and deliver this package.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID.
What are you doing, man?
All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges. Beginning scan.
What's up, yo?
Pleasant journey.
And don't worry, there's of course big twists, turns, plot divisive moments. I mean, it's like a 30-hour game, so there's lots of room for weird moments to happen. This is the initial area. There's some neat teases of that area over there. If you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about over in that spot. Lots of other little regions you'll have to go to. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I know what we're doing here. I can never forget this pain and agonizing experience. Do I actually have to do this scuffs thing? So yeah, here's the map, and then you go here, and this is just like the starting area. And then there's like a whole other thing you go do, and you have to go in here and fight some stuff, and you walk along this river, and blah, blah, blah. Nothing appears until you get to the overconnected world with everybody else, and all that stuff. Yeah. it's so, like, I hope if you have been sticking with me this whole time, that I have deterred you from jumping into this one. You know, like at the beginning, again, this might not seem too bad. It might seem like it's okay, but no, trust me, it is just a lot of walking and meandering. It's not a good time. There are so many better moments you can have doing literally anything else with your life. Seriously, you can, you know, read a book, play a dozen other games. You could watch like a summary online, and then the story you'll be like, huh? And yeah, but I mean, it is, I think, pretty straightforward about all this stuff. More cutscenes. And again, I'm normally not a complainer about cutscenes, but when some of your cutscenes drag on to the point that I'm watching like an episode of like a TV show, a movie and stuff,
All trending the same way.
it's terrible.
None that I can see. No.
We should start making preparations.
That means this is the end. People are like, oh no, blah, blah, blah. America. President's office, isolation ward. Skip. it just goes on and on. I know they're establishing the scene and stuff, but you play like almost nothing. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. We gotta get the job done. And we gotta deliver this body. So the president's dead.
This is Die Hardman. Dead men explain how to use the cuffs, right? Use them to check the location of the incinerator.
Yeah, we gotta go to the incinerator.
Sam, I don't think I need to remind you, but every minute counts when transporting corpses for disposal.
I mean, I am apparently the greatest courier of all time, so I don't know why you need to even discuss that slightly with it.
Make our lives hell.
Yeah, then the dead come and all that stuff. I know how it works. You think they could have given us like a vehicle to get this done? They're like, literally, this dude's just gonna have to walk along the countryside to get it. But that's your job. You walk, And then you walk some more, and then maybe you're lucky, you get like a bike or something, and then you move a little bit quicker, and then your bike breaks, and then you have to fix things, and everything breaks down, and you have to walk, your packages break, and then you have to get new packages, and you have to redo things, and then you have to walk and meander more. And then you question your life and your sanity.